So it was in 2015. We were on a family vacation in the mountains. Beck just randomly fell at the end of the day and said, my legs stopped working. Started thinking on the drive home that maybe for the past year he had been complaining of what I thought was growing pains. But I made an appointment with his pediatrician for him to go in just to be looked at. When we got to the pediatrician, she had him sit on the ground and stand up from a sitting position. Now I know that she noticed the Gower sign. She suggested that I take him in for blood work. But I did it, and I got a phone call the next day from the doctor who told me that his CK levels were extremely high, meaning he had a form of muscular dystrophy. My name is Brandy, and I live in Georgia.
I'm Stanley. I'm Beck's stepfather.
My son Beck has Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
You can live a good life with Duchenne. There is some stuff you have to limit, which you have to accept and know that everything's going to be okay with not being able to do what other kids can do. I don't let Duchenne define me.
I remember I ran up the stairs to my oldest daughter's room and I couldn't breathe. I'd never heard of muscular dystrophy before. And I'm like, Googling it, of course, and then everything kind of made sense.
It's super weird. The week prior to that, I think it was, in my healthcare class in high school, we watched a video about a boy with Duchenne who was actually on life support. So that was my first introduction to it. It was like, oh my gosh, like, it's a boy with Duchenne on life support. I watched this video, like my brother has that now.
And the day that he finished all the testing and, my mom was told the news, I remember I called my friend. I couldn't even get the words out to say that this is what he had. And I had no idea what it even was. And I was terrified.
I was very depressed for several months after it. Beck's my only boy, It was very hard to even get out of bed. And then I realized very quickly that if I were to stay in that state of mind, I was doing him no good. So that's when we started doing the physical therapy, everything that I was supposed to do. It's very challenging, but you do what you have to do once you're, brought into this position. So I actually had my oldest daughter when I was 18. So I was a young mother, had my second daughter when I was 19. So I worked for UPS for quite a while, part-time hours. I saved up enough to move on my own, and then I started working in the insurance industry and worked there for about 9 years. And then Beck came along.
And then we have our daughter together, which is Aspen. I love motorsports and stuff, and she was in the motorsports field, and that's how we ended up meeting. And then when things started getting a little serious, she told me, she was like, you don't want to be in this life. And I already felt like I was in love with her, and I was like, well, I'm not going to let someone with a disability, steer me away from something of happiness.
Stanley, my stepdad, he does a lot. He takes me to my therapy once a week. He basically came into my life with Duchenne, and he wanted to be able to do stuff for me, and he's been doing a lot.
Before him even meeting the kids or anything, I actually had him meet me at a doctor's office where Beck was at so he could see Beck and meet the doctor that Beck was working with at the time.
I've never really fully been around, disabilities before, but there's no way I'm gonna run away now, This kid's amazing, she's amazing, the girls were amazing, and there was nothing more that I wanted than to be within this family. So 2 years ago, during COVID, a bad situation has a positive outcome because it gave us the time to focus on starting a nonprofit. And Beck was very driven, loves helping people. He was the inspiration behind Beck's Helping Hands. We want to be the helping hands when people need it. So we'll get items, we'll store them, and we'll just wait, for someone to need it. And we loan them or give them away to families. We help with handicap accessible ramps, bathroom remodels, anything that can make a family's life just a little bit easier for the day-to-day living.
We drive from state to state to pick up equipment, and we'll deliver it, to their homes, and Beck loves to do it. So doing something like that with him so that he can see how cool and important it is, and for him to be involved in our entire family, we all do it together, has really been, it's just been awesome. There's no you can't whenever it comes to any of this. Especially Stanley, he's wonderful about making it happen. If I'm worried about something, that comes up, like, oh, I don't know, he might not be able to do this, he really, really is like, no, he's gonna be included.
I wanted to be able to do a sport. My friend dad told me about power soccer like about 3 years ago. I never heard of it. I decided to finally try it out, and you're in like a power soccer chair. They're faster than regular chairs. You use a bigger soccer ball. It was really fun and competitive.
Beck loves racing. So we decided we were gonna get him a razor, and as soon as he saw it, it was the sweetest moment. He just started crying, and it's like, is that for me? Are you serious? He was so excited.
Beck's personality is very adventurous. He always loves taking risks. He doesn't let his disease get in the way. If you look at him, you know that you would never think that he has muscular dystrophy. He's just very outgoing.
Beck has changed everything in my life. He is such an inspiration. Everything that he goes through and that he deals with on a daily basis, he's so positive. Even when times are hard, he's just taught me that you can live a good life even throughout this diagnosis. It doesn't mean that our lives are over just because of this. It's weird how much it has changed my knowledge and my outlook on life and how precious life really, really is.